What's up, Charlie people? Or no, what's up, green people? What's up, Smurfs? Today we're talking about a very interesting topic, a very popular topic. And this topic is, drumroll please, Schism. Schism. Now, this is very controversial. It's very hot topic. I know some people are very like, you should never schism ever. It's never okay. And then some people are like, always okay. Now, I sit a bit in between. I think, so I go to the Church of Scotland, right? Just a little bit of backstory. I go to the Church of Scotland, the Free Church of Scotland, right? So, a lot of people say it's schismatic, right? But I talked to my minister about this topic, and he had the view of it's only schism if so. Okay, I'm gonna give you two scenarios. Okay, the first scenario is you went to your local church, Church of Scotland, and there was a pastor that you didn't like because you thought he didn't teach correct. And so you schismed and you're like, I'm making a new church. That, I would agree, that's bad. However, I think there's times where it's okay to schism. So, the Free Church says, this is what they said, the minister said, they said that the reason that they split is because the church itself, the institution, was not allowing the pastors to teach the correct gospel. This is much different. So the pastors, if you don't like one pastor, that's one thing. If the whole church is not allowing pastors to teach the correct gospel, preventing them to teach, that is when I would say it is okay to split, because they are obstructing truth. Right? Now you can try to reform or whatever, but as soon as you try to do that, people are just gonna go like, get out of the church. The church isn't not going to allow you to do this, so just get out of the church. You're not going to be able to say this correct gospel. So this is the view I hold. So I'd say schism is okay if the church is not allowing people to teach the correct gospel. If it's infiltrated by a few liberal like pastors, or like, if that's one thing, but if the actual church as an institution, like for example, let's say the church as an institution would not let male pastors at all, that's one thing. Another thing is if one pastor is a female, that's way different. But people still say that the Free Church of Scotland and every free church is schismatic when they don't know the story. So I'm not asking you to go to the Free Church. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just asking that we should be open-minded and know the story before we jump to saying, that's schismatic, that's sinful, you're not allowed to go to that church. So that's kind of the view I hold. Let's make this basement. And for example, a schism I wouldn't like to say is good is the Pentecostals or the Holiness movement or like the New Apostolic movement, where they literally just schismed because they wanted the church to emphasize what they already taught more. That's invalid schism, because there's no the church can still do that. You can just make make a movement inside the church, continue that. That's great. But you don't need to make a whole new church. But if it's so much different, the actual doctrine of the church versus specific churches, like